Yo, what's going on, guys? Of course, we're back here doing my off-season preview, priorities, primer, whatever you want to call it, for the Philadelphia 76ers, who were just eliminated at the hands of, yes, the New York Knicks. So let's get right into it. I want to hear your thoughts before. What do you guys think this team needs to prioritize, and what would you guys address? So let's get right into. Shout out Bobby Marks for this information, some of it, and let's get right into today's video. We're talking about the Philadelphia 76ers and what they should do this offseason. Now, I'll be the first one to admit it, okay? It's not easy. First off, we all know they need to go out and get a legit guy. Either go get Paul George, Miles Bridges. I don't even know who else is available in free agency. Then maybe trade for a Jeremy Grant if you strike out on those guys. Maybe get into Donovan Mitchell sweepstakes if that happens, or Darius Garland. Well, there's things that are pending and people are keeping an eye out for. As I think the current way that we're watching the NBA, we know that this is a team that they gotta decide which way they're gonna go. It's an important offseason because they've done a great job of rebuilding the trade assets. So let's get right into it and talk about what do I mean? What do I mean by they've done a great job of rebuilding the trade assets? So first off, they went 47-35. They have the 16th pick and the 41st pick. I think with the 16th pick, they'll either go for a wing player like a Ryan Dunn or a Kevin McCullough. If not a wing player, I think they go for a Jared McCain or a Devin Carter. I don't know what other guards would be good there. I don't think they go for a big. If they were for a big, I think that's a second round guy that they have, maybe like a Ugana Onyenso that I like. So those are some people I think keep an eye out for. Let me hear you. Who do you think they should draft? Now, the roster, obviously, they have Tyrese Maxey, who's a restricted free agent. He's going to get re-signed. Tobias Harris is on his way out. He's an unrestricted free agent. So is DeAnthony Milton, Nick Batum, Kyle Lowry, Campaign, Robert Covington, Buddy Hield, KJ Martin, Kelly Oubre Jr., Mo Bamba. Then Jeff Dalton has a team option, which I expect to get picked up. And Taquavian Smith is a restricted free agent whom I expect them to sign to a multi-year contract. Now, for me, what do I think's going to happen right here? Out of all these guys, I think Kyle Lowry is the safest bet to return. But the first thing they got to do is exhaust the cap space before re-signing Tyrese Maxey. So since they traded since before last season, when they could have extended Tyrese, they didn't. And they decided, hey, guess what? James, you're getting traded. And they have done a great job of preserving the cap space, building up Philadelphia's draft equity, and waiting for the next All-Star to become available, either via trade or free agency. The 76ers have nearly $60 million in cap space, 5 tradable first-round picks starting on the night of the draft, plus 2 franchise pillars in Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. Philadelphia went 31-8 during the regular season when Embiid and Tyrese Maxey started together. In addition to solving how to use the 76ers cap fit space, Daryl Morey is going to have to see how they prioritize those 10 free agents that they gotta look at. So the 76ers are in the driver's seat with cap space this offseason, but creating financial flexibility does come at a cost. Philadelphia could create up to $65 million in cap space if they do renounce the rights to all their free agents except Tyrese Maxey, then waive their non-guaranteed contracts and trade their first-round pick without taking back any salary. The contracts of Paul Reed, who makes $7.7 million, Jeff Dalton, who makes $2.2 million, and Ricky Council, who makes $1.9 million, are non-guaranteed. Now, this front office has to prioritize either signing a bunch of 1-year deals to have cap space next year or below the cap space this year. As Maxey has a $13 million free agent hole, and his next contract's going to be at like $35 million, probably a 5-year, $204.5 million deal. Maxey will once again be in a holding pattern until Philadelphia exhausts every option that they have to use their cap space. Now, Maxey averaged a career high 25.9 points and 6.2 assists, was named most improved player, and he's a guy who literally, in the 2,000 possessions Maxey and Embiid have shared on the court, the Sixers have scored 124 points per possession and had a rating plus 11.1. Tyrese Maxey joins Allen Iverson and Will Chamberlain as the only players in 76ers history to average 25 points and 5 assists in at least 50 games. Signing Maxey is the easy part. The next part is how will they build a championship team in a less than star-studded free agent class. LeBron James is expected to stay in Los Angeles. OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam are expected to stay with their new respective teams. That leaves Paul George as the only viable person. And for me, I think the history has shown that all-star level free agents do not change teams in free agency. Plus, Anunoby and Siakam, like I said, were traded in the season, and their new teams, New York and Indiana, intend to re-sign them regardless of the cost. Signing Paul George to a max contract starting at $49 million would require the 76ers to renounce the rights to all their free agents except Tyrese Maxey, and then build out the rest of the roster with the remaining cap space and the $8 million room mid-level exception, and then signing players to veteran minimum exceptions. So chasing an all-star is not the only option. They could look at Kyle Lowry, Nick Batum, and/or Milton, and/or Kelly Oubre, and split that, bring them back on veteran minimum contracts, and then to try to chase a guy like Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Miles Bridges, Malik Monk, Tyus Jones, and free agency, who could help them. So one scenario that people shouldn't forget is that they could target an all-star in trade. The cap space and the ability to use their own free agents in a signing trade. The Sixers have 5 tradable first and multiple pick swaps available. It could happen. We're also hearing that Joel Embiid is a guy who might become extension eligible. So signing Embiid to a 3-year, $193.5 million extension on July 18th would seem like a no-brainer for the 76ers front office. Embiid is in the prime of his career. He just turned 30 in March, won an MVP in 22 to 23, and has averaged a double-double in the past 7 seasons. Embiid joined Will Chamberlain in 1963 to 64 as the only player to average 35 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists in a single season. However, paying to keep Embiid in the 76ers uniform through the 28 to 29 season might be costly. When healthy, he is a dominant player, but he underwent left knee surgery in February. That was the 5th surgery of his NBA career. He has missed 336 games since 2014 to 15, and there should be a concern paying him $59.7, $64.5, and $69.3 million in the 3 seasons of a new contract, especially when there are already 3 years left on his deal and the last year is a player option. Besides him, nobody else is extension eligible, and like I said earlier, get a legit star that complements Maxey and Paul George, and then rebuild the bench. But trading James Harden to the Clippers restored some of the draft equity Philadelphia had lost in prior trades. The Sixers can trade their 2024 first-round pick starting on the night of the draft. They also have the least favorable 26 first from OKC, Houston at 5 through 30, and the Clippers. Now they are owed a first-round pick from the Clippers in 2028, and if they want, they have the right to swap first with the Lakers in 29 at 4 through 30. In total, the Philadelphia can trade up to 5 first-round picks. The 76ers still owe 1 first-round pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder, part of the Al Horford trade. And the pick is top 6 protected in 25 and top 4 protected in 26. 2 years ago, after the draft obligations are met to the Thunder, Philadelphia will then send a top 8 protect first to Brooklyn. They have 6 second-round picks that they could trade. So let me know your thoughts down below. That's going to be the video for today, guys. Bye. What do you think the Sixers should do?